Hey guys, my name is Dr. RJ. I'm a Maximize Living doctor at I Get It Chiropractic, and I just want to tell you my story. Back in 2005, I was at Palmer Chiropractic College going to school, and I was an elite level rugby player, and I started developing some symptoms. And like most people think that symptoms are normal or they're common, well, I was throwing up bile, and it was happening on Wednesdays. And the only explanation I could think of was that my hangovers were getting longer, that this was something that was just out of the blue, that it wasn't that serious, and that I should do nothing about it. Over the course of the next several months, my health got worse and worse. I went home to Canada and I went to my doctor, and I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I was just in a bad place, and my doctor ran tests. I had to spend an entire day in a hospital, and for most of us, we know what that feels like, and it's not a good feeling. Poked, prodded, this test, that test, and to have him call me back the next day and tell me that I had two incurable diseases, type 2 diabetes and cirrhosis of my liver at 25 years old. I'd just gotten engaged. My fiance was down in the States, and I was at home, and I went through this bad news on my own, and I got scared. It was the first time in my life that I feared what was going to happen next. My doctor's solution was 15 pills. He sent me to a cirrhosis group, and I went and met with these guys, and they told me not to take these medications because of the harsh side effects. Side effects including infertility and sterility. Here I am at 25, just gotten engaged. Now I was told I was never going to have a child, right? I was never going to bring life into this world, and I was miserable. I felt scared. I felt lonely. I was, when I got back, I actually told my fiance not to marry me. I said, go find someone that's better. Go find someone that's not broken. Go find someone that you can create life with, because I felt like I was garbage. When you have cirrhosis, the doctor says don't drink, but when you're depressed, you turn to it more, right? It becomes more of what you do, because you don't want to live with the reality of what you've been told, that you have this label on you, and that you own it. And that's what I did too. I owned it. It was like the diabetes became my diabetes, or the cirrhosis was my cirrhosis. And I had no idea that I could get well. One of my classmates in school, he said, you need to go see one of these corrective care chiropractors. And I said to him, no, I've been to the best of the best. I've had the best testings, and they told me that I have to live my life this way. Without blinking an eye, he looked at me and he said, you're on medications that are going to cause you to be infertile and never have children. Your symptoms are only getting worse. And he said, are you willing to do whatever it takes to be healthy again? And I said, yes. And he invited me to go see this doctor, and it was a Maximize Living doctor. And this guy sat me down, and he started explaining the truth, the principle of chiropractic, that God needs no help, he just needs no interference, and that your body heals from above down, inside out. And he took me through this program and showed me, and I was just blown away. I was like, for the first time in my life, I felt hope. I felt like my problems, there was an answer, and there was a solution. And this guy was my ticket. And so I went to his office. He took x-rays of my spine. For the first time ever, someone x-rayed my spine. My entire time at chiropractic college, the 3 years leading up to this point, no one ever took a picture of my spine or taught me how to read it. So this doctor sat me down, showed me my curves. I had a reverse cervical curve in my neck. I had a 14-degree scoliosis crushing the nerves to my pancreas and my liver. My body was shutting down. Right? My body wasn't working correctly. All the nerve interference was choked off, creating sickness, death, and disease in my body. All messages of life, health, and healing were blocked. And he showed me a way to fix it. And the reality is that I knew, I understood what he was saying, but still, I had to take action. And that's when the life started to change. I made that step forward. I went through it, and I went through his program, corrected my spine, worked with nutrition, got my life back. I lost 75 pounds in the first 3 months of being under care in his office. No fad diets, eating food that God created us to eat, nourished my body and brought my body back to life. Since that day, I have one of the largest practices in the United States, saving thousands of people each and every week. I have one child and one on the way, and I was told I'd never have children. So because one man took the time to step out and tell me that there's another way of living, I'm making a difference in this world, and I'm just honored and grateful that my friend was the one that showed me that there was a way, that there was a solution. And you know, that's what we do around here. We just look for that next person. We go to the darkest, deepest places to get the lowest people that are suffering the most, and we bring them back towards life, health, and healing through God's principles and His design. And like that doctor said to me, he goes, I'm not the healer, God's the healer. Your body's the healer, and your body's super powerful. We just got to get the interference out. And so hopefully I can encourage you to do the same. Find someone that you feel careful or comfortable with sending your family to get your lives back. I'm just ever grateful for my friend that did that, and that's why I ask all of you to do the same for your friend, because the reality is that there's people, they're on their hands and knees praying for an answer, and we know that answer, we know that truth, that your body needs no help, just no interference. Power's on.